gas, typhoons, floods, volcanic eruption, and other natural calamities occur in increasing number and intensity. We turn to you, our loving Father, and beg forgiveness for our sins. We ask that we, our loved ones, and our hard-earned possessions be spared from the threat of calamities, natural and man-made. We beseech you to inspire us all to grow into responsible stewards of your creation and generous neighbors to those in need. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you very much. Please take your seats. Once again, welcome to the ceremonial turnover of solid waste management equipment and the MOA signing. And now, let me acknowledge the presence of our officials and guests. We have Honorable Senator Cynthia C. Villar, Chairperson, Senate Committee on Environment and Natural Resources. We also have with us Attorney Army Corpus, the Chief of Staff of the Honorable Senator Cynthia C.
So
Villar.
live po tayo
We
ngayon
also
dito sa
have with
mismong
us none other
central
than Undersecretary Benny
central
Diaz-Coda,
office ng DENR.
Undersecretary for Solid Waste Management and Local Government Units Concerns. Engineer Visminda A. Osorio, Assistant Director, Environmental Management Bureau. Ms. Maria Delia Cristina M. Valdez, OIC Chief, EMP Solid Waste Management Division. Also with us is Forester Andresito Cabalar, Chief, Solid Waste Management Section, EMP Region 3. We also have our honorable local chief executives and or their authorized representatives. Honorable Rene E. Maglake, Honorable Mayor, Municipality of Candaba, Province of Pampanga. Good afternoon, sir. Also with us is Honorable Romulo F. Pexon, Mayor, Municipality of Magala, Province of Pampanga. Honorable Edwin Edsa David Santiago, Mayor, City of San Fernando, Pampanga. To be represented by Ms. Regina Rodriguez, our City Environment and Natural Resources Officer, City of San Fernando, Province of Pampanga. We also have with us Honorable Emmanuel M. Alejandrino, Mayor, Municipality of Araya, Province of Pampanga. And Honorable Dante D. Torres, Mayor, Municipality of Guagua, Province of Pampanga, represented by Menro Cartito Nicdao. Good afternoon, everyone. And to formally welcome all of us in this momentous event, I'd like to call on Engineer Visminda A. Osorio, the Assistant Director of Environmental Management Bureau. And of course, to introduce our guest of honor this afternoon.
Okay, isang maganda at makakalikas hapon po sa ating lahat. Good afternoon, everyone. So, to our dear Senator Cynthia A. Villar, who championed for this innovation in solid waste management. To our dear Undersecretary Benny D. Anticorda, who made all of this possible from the start. And of course, to our honorable mayors who are with us this afternoon, and Attorney Army Corpus, my friend. And of course, to all our partners from the Centro Office of the respective parties na ngayon nandito. And of course, to my colleagues from the Department of Environment and Natural Resources.
I-share ninyo sa
And
mga
of course,
kaibigan
to
ninyo,
Environmental
sa mga
Management
kabarangay
Bureau
ninyo, sa
also.
municipality ninyo na para mapanood
My
nila.
esteemed
I-share niyo po sa kanila.
guests, ladies
Salamat.
and gentlemen, good afternoon again. So, welcome to this ceremony turnover and the signing of the Memorandum of Agreement on the provision of solid waste management equipment. So, it has been a long journey to get to where we are. But rest assured, this was This was to make sure that these composters and shredders that we will be providing is up to the task of processing the amount of biodegradable waste. And there is no better way to showcase the capability of this waste management equipment than to have it tested by our agricultural powerhouse, municipalities under Region 3, which is known as the produce fertilizer for the region. I hope that in our way, we can also contribute to the efforts of our colleagues over at the Department of Agriculture with establishing rice self-sufficiency for the Philippines. We are especially thankful for you, our dear honorable mayors, for your interest and support for this initiative. It might not be as obvious to others, but solid waste management is an important facet of community development, not because to protect our citizens from health risks caused by improper waste management, not just to ensure environmental sustainability,
Siguro po dahil
but
yung kailang
also to support economic progress.
hindi ko rin po alam,
Indeed,
no?
we are
Basta,
thankful
basta yan na po yung
that you
mga
have
dumalo ngayon.
seen the benefits
Yan,
of
wala po akong idea.
proper
Naimbitahan
waste
lang po kami,
management.
Nanay Delia,
And that
ni
it is also the
Undersecretary
potential
Benny
to
Antivorda
extract
po, no?
more resources and
So, ayan,
uses
nakita niyo yung equipment
from
yan. Ayan,
what
nasa harap
is
natin yan.
otherwise
Yan,
considered
may tabo na kulay puti
waste.
na yan. Ang ibig
May
sabihin po
pera
niyan,
pa rin po
no,
talaga
ipaliwanag
sa
ko lang ng konti
basura.
sa inyo na
And
yan,
it is
babanggit nga
our
lang,
job
may
here
pera
in
sa
the
basura.
Department of
So,
Environment and
yung solid
Natural
waste management
Resources
equipment, yan
to
nakita nyo
help
ngayon na may
you
tabon dito,
maximize its
yung mga solid
potential.
waste natin, no,
On this
salit na
note,
itapon lang
I
kung
am
saan saan,
formally opening
sa
this
tulong nitong makina na
activity and look
mapoproduce
forward
yung mga
to the
solid
ceremonial
waste na yan into
turnover
a
of the
fertilizer na
equipment.
maaaring
Magandang
makatulong,
hapon po
no,
sa ating
na
lahat.
natural fertilizer na hindi yung fertilizer ng mga chemical na binubuhos
So,
natin. It's a natural
to
fertilizer na
continue,
pwedeng nating
it is also an
may tulong sa
honor
pagpapalago,
to
pagpapalaki ng
introduce
ating
to
mga
you our
halaman, mga gulay.
special guest of honor. And
Magandang hapon sa iyo, Nanay Delia Pagarigan.
our
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
guest of honor is the chairman, she is a senator, and she is a chairman on the Committee on Environment and Natural Resources and Climate Change. So, Senator Villar earned her degree in Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from the University
Ay,
of
Little Road,
the
this is so
Philippines,
informative. Ayan. So,
which
tama po kayo, ma'am.
recognized her as
So,
the
ito kasi yung mga klase ng
as
event
the
na hindi
2017
na ibabalita,
UPAA
no?
Most
Na akala ng iba
Distinguished
walang ganitong klase
Alumna.
ng project.
She completed
Walang
her
ganitong klase ng
master's degree in Business Administration at the
ginagawa
New
ang
York
DENR, no?
University.
Pero napakarami po
And
katulad
she
itong
practiced
proposed
as a
project na ito na
financial
malaki ang may
analyst
tutulong, no?
and college
Yan, malaki ang may
professor
tutulong po itong mga
until she
project na ito.
married the former House Speaker and Senate President Manny Villar. She supported her husband in various
And by the way, kasama pala natin ngayon dito. Dito tayo sa central office ng DENR, no? Dito sa Visayas Avenue, dito sa Quezon City. No?
She also
So,
managed
15 vloggers kami nandito, 13
bank
vloggers
from
kung naimbitahan.
1989
At ayan, so
up to
kasama natin ngayon dito si
1998.
Undersecretary Benny
So,
Antiporda. No?
Senator
Si
Villar
Undersecretary
founded
Benny
also
Antiporda
and chaired the
yung
Villar Foundation,
madalas yung nakikita sa mga vlogs natin sa
Villar
Manila Bay
Social
White Sands. No?
Institute for
Yes,
Poverty
Secretary Benny
Alleviation
Antiporda.
and Governance, or Villar
Ay, Ate
CPAG.
Missy Tatsi,
Its
magandang hapon
various
po sa iyo.
programs
Magandang
are
hapon.
assistance to OFWs, including the yearly OFW and Family Summit, environment protection, including the establishment of the Las Piñas Parañaque Wetland Park, and also agricultural training in 4 farm schools located in Cavite, Bulacan, Iloilo, and Davao. And she also established various livelihood projects over 3,000 locations nationwide. So right now, our honorable speaker is she is the chair of the Senate Committee on Agriculture and Food, since
Yes, galing kay Ma'am
2013.
Delia. Okay,
And
Kuya Bob.
the
Maganda nga
Senate
yan,
Committee
solid
on
waste
Environment
na
and Natural
magiging
Resources
fertilizer. Tama po.
2016 up to present.
O, di
And
ba
besides
yung mga solid waste
pursuing
natin,
and
minsan basta
enacting
tinatapon-tapon lang
relevant
natin, no?
laws,
So,
she
sa tulong
also
yung mga
led
solid waste na to,
numerous
mako-convert yung
initiatives
mga
to empower
solid waste na
farmers,
yan, ito ay
among
fertilizer na
which
malaki may
is
tutulong
the
talaga, no?
establishment of TESDA accredited farm schools, which have so far reached over 2,367 all over the country. Our honorable guest speaker was conferred also the rank of Honorary Auxiliary Commodore by the Philippine Coast Guard Auxiliary for her commitment to environment protection. She is also an honorary member of the Philippine Horticultural Society and other social civic groups. Amidst all her achievements and awards, she successfully raised three
Good
well-educated
afternoon po,
children.
Ma'am Lenny Miado.
Paulo
Magandang hapon po
is the
sa'yo.
CEO of publicly listed Vistaland. Mark is the Secretary of the Department of Public Works and Highways. And Camille is currently the representative of the Lone District of Las Piñas. Camille is also the Vice Chairman of All Home and President of All Value and Director of Star Malls, Vista Malls. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome our Honorable Senator Cynthia A. Villar.
Okay na ba? Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Merry Christmas. I wish to acknowledge the following: our DENR Undersecretary Benny Antiporda, Assistant Director Minda Osorio of DNR ENB, Mayor Emmanuel Alejandro of Arayat, Pampanga, Mayor Romulo Pecson of Magalang, Pampanga, Mr. Carlito Nicdao, Municipal Environmental and
Sa mga
Natural
taga-Pampanga po dyan na nanood, yan, i-share niyo po, no, para mapanood nyo. Dito po ang inyong mga
Ms.
mayors.
Remina
Yan.
Rodriguez, City Environmental and Natural Resources Officer of San Fernando City, Pampanga. And of course, Mayor of Tandaba, Pampanga, and Mr. Nixon Edora, representative of Suki Trading Inc., which I think is our supplier of our equipment, other DNR officials and personnel, other LGU personnel, our friends from media, bloggers, guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much to the Environmental Management Bureau of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources for inviting me to be part of the ceremonial turnover of the solid waste management equipment and the signing of the Memorandum of Agreement with recipient LGUs in Pampanga. I hope that the LGUs in Arayat, Candaba, Guagua, Magalang, and San Fernando will put to very good use the equipment that they will receive. You are fortunate to be the first recipients. This is a long overdue project actually, and we still have a long way to go since there are 178 LGUs that will be part of these projects. These
So,
LGUs are in the
117 po,
province
no?
of Bataan,
178 local government unit.
Nueva Ecija,
So,
Bulacan,
for sure, mga
and of
probinsya to.
course Metro Manila,
Metro Manila
and
kasama
then
rin.
the provinces of Rizal,
Okay.
Cavite,
Uh-huh.
and Laguna, which are part of the Manila Bay area.
Okay.
Kayo po
Manila
ang
Bay area.
magre-receive nito, 178 LGUs.
178
This is in
LGUs. Yung
line with the
tinutukoy pa natin
mandate
na
of
marireceive na yan.
DNR under
Ito na, mamaya
Republic
i-reveal
Act
natin yan. Yan, nakita niyo sa bandang
9003 or the
yung
Ecological
nakakulay
Solid
puti na yan.
Waste
Mamaya
Management
i-reveal ko yung
Act of
machine, no?
2000.
Solid Waste
Wherein the
Management Equipment.
department is tasked to provide technical and other capability building assistance to LGUs in the development and implementation of the 10-year solid waste management plans. The budget for this has been
Opo, no, kasi ngayon
allocated
pa
to the
nag-start na,
DNR
ayan.
EMB in the last quarter of 2016 during the budget deliberations for the 2017 proposed budget in the Senate. And it is intended to help in the cleanup of Manila Bay as well as to address the need to reduce the overwhelming volume of solid waste, which is a perennial problem. However, the DNR EMB was not able to implement the project or procure the equipment right away. That is why I mentioned earlier that this project is long overdue, but better late than never. I hope though that in the future, the projects will be implemented
Actually,
on time,
itong project na po to,
especially
matagal na to,
if
no?
the
Matagal
budget
na
is available
nahinto lang, but
already.
ngayon,
Sayang ang
ipagpapatuloy
panahon
niya
na
ngayon.
lumilipas. I don't need to emphasize that in matters related to environmental protection, such as solid waste management, napaka-importante ng oras o panahon dahil napakalaki and sometimes irreparable ang damage sa ating environment kapag hindi tayo nakakilos o may action agad. Our mentality should be the earlier, the better. I'm glad to know that today, the procurement of the self-178 composting equipment is finished. It's about time since napakaraming LGUs pa ang kailangang mabigyan ng mga equipment sa lalong madaling panahon. We need to fast-track that as well as the procurement of the 25 units of equipment that will recycle plastic waste into school chairs. Based on report, the procurement process for the plastic recycling equipment is still being processed. So we have to hasten the procedure with PITC, with the controversial PITC. As you know, plastic make up 15% of solid waste and one of the most damaging to the environment. This equipment will really help LGUs to attain their zero waste goals and their 10-year solid waste management plans of their LGUs to properly manage waste. On top of that, this will also help with the cleanup of Manila Bay, which has been mandated under the Supreme Court issued mandamus kung saan bahagi ang mga LGUs together with 13 government departments and agencies. I won't elaborate on that since most of you are familiar also with the mandamus of Manila Bay. Time is really of the essence when it comes to environmental protection measures such as waste management. The pandemic that we are still going through now gives more urgency to that. I'm speaking here both as a legislator and as an environmental advocate. The ongoing pandemic due to COVID-19 has shown us that there is really a direct link between environment and the spread of diseases. The most critical of which is the protection of wildlife habitats and solid waste management. Thus, there should be stricter implementation of environmental laws because in many instances, the problem is really in the implementation of the law and not the legislation. We have so many laws already, many of which are not implemented to the letter, so to speak, among which is on solid waste management. Improperly disposed waste causes infection, contamination, and spread of bacteria, virus, and eventually diseases. So we should take proper waste disposal and management even more seriously. I have spent most of my years in public service, not only in drafting laws, but by establishing programs and projects that protect the environment. I spent 9 years of my public life as a congresswoman from 2001 to 2010 in saving the Las Piñas-Zapote River from waste. My effort was in fact recognized by the United Nations Water for Life as a best water management practice in 2011. That started my lifelong advocacy to promote proper waste management until now as a senator. There should be a shared responsibility among us when it comes to waste management. There is no exception because we all generate waste. Tayong lahat ay nagpo-produce ng waste, so we should be part of managing waste. According to the World Health Organization, if solid waste is not dealt with quickly, serious health risks will develop, which will further demoralize the community already traumatized by the emergency. Moreover, the International Solid Waste Association also cites that waste management is one of the most important sanitary barriers to prevent this dissemination of illnesses and diseases. Whether there is a community quarantine or lockdown or not, proper waste management is important. During the first few months of the quarantine, some waste collection activities and services were disrupted that made the situation worse since the amount of waste produced, especially in households, continues to increase. If LGUs have their own solid waste management equipment or facilities, they can handle their own waste. Kaya importante na mabigyan sila lahat ng capability at capacity. I myself have implemented projects through the Villar Social Institute for Poverty Alleviation and Governance, or Villar CPAG. We have established barangay-based livelihood enterprises that are models of proper waste management and good examples of how garbage can be turned into useful end products. The raw materials we use in our livelihood projects are from waste. These are the water hyacinth for the water lily handicraft weaving enterprise and the handmade paper factory. You can make paper out of water lily leaves. Waste coconut husk for the coconut weaving enterprise and the charcoal making factory. Kitchen and garden waste for the organic fertilizer composting facility. And plastic waste for the waste plastic recycling factory that produces school chairs. So far, we have set up 3,000 livelihood projects nationwide. So that equates to a very good amount of waste processed as well. I will not discuss it lengthily. Let me just cite the extent of our livelihood project that produces organic fertilizer from biodegradable waste, which is 50% of our waste. We have facilitated the establishment of composting centers in barangay and the collection of kitchen and garden waste in the household to be brought to the barangay composting facility. In my home city of Las Piñas alone, we have 80 composters utilized by over 40,000 households, producing 60 tons of organic fertilizer every month, which we give away to farmers and urban gardeners. When we talk of solid waste, as I cited earlier, plastic is also 15%. Plastic pollution, as the United Nations put it, is a planetary crisis. And the Philippines, based on a University of Georgia study, ranked third next to China and Indonesia among 192 countries surveyed in terms of volume of plastic waste produced by the population that goes into the ocean. Thus, efforts to reduce or eliminate plastic waste are very important and crucial in this part of the world. Kaya naman, PITC should speed up the procurement of the waste plastic recycling equipment already. I cited earlier that most of the time, it is the implementation of the law that is the problem. Kaya, importante na ma-implement natin ng tama ang ating Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. I have filed a bill that seeks to institutionalize the practice of what we call extended producer's responsibility, especially in industries that generate plastic waste, as an additional mechanism towards achieving an efficient solid waste management. The bill will also amend RA 9003, and the definition of extended producer's responsibility is included in the law as referring to either the environment policy or practice in which producers, in coordination with distributors and retailers, have the responsibility for the proper and effective disposal of their products after they have been sold to and used by consumers, with the objective of reducing waste generation and improving recyclability or reusability of waste, which include plastic containers or packaging materials. Extended producer's responsibility is included as an additional institutional mechanism in solid waste management. A new Section 14 will be inserted in the Solid Waste Management Law, and among its provision is that all producers, in coordination with distributors and retailers, shall adopt mechanisms and strategies for the effective and proper management of waste, such as the discarded containers and packaging material generated from the use or consumption of the products they produce, distributed, retailed, or sold, as the case may be. So that will take care of that plastic waste. At this point, I want also to emphasize that Pampanga is one of our big rice-producing provinces. One reason why we are distributing composting facilities that will produce organic fertilizer, because with certain additives prescribed by the Philippine Rice Institute, our organic fertilizer can be used as fertilizer for rice. The rice farmers won't have to spend money to buy fertilizer because they can make their own organic fertilizer for rice. And this practice will benefit the rice farmers forever. This is long term. They will learn how to produce their own organic fertilizer out of kitchen and garden waste. We are not only solving our waste management problem, but at the same time, we are helping the rice farmers bring down their cost of production because they don't have to buy fertilizer, for the benefit also of the rice consumers. Kasi mumura ang bigas para sa mga rice consumer. I hope the towns and city in Pampanga who are recipient of these composters will allow our rice farmers to benefit from this organic fertilizer production. And of course, let us do our waste management seriously. Maraming salamat. God bless and stay safe. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
There you have it, the message of the Honorable Senator Cynthia A. Villar. Thank you very much, ma'am. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to the ceremonial signing of our Memorandum of Agreement, let us first hear the response and message of none other than our DENR Undersecretary for Solid Waste Management and Local Government Units Concerns, Undersecretary Benny D. Antipora.
Attorney Army Corpus, the Chief of Staff of Senator Cynthia Villar, Assistant Director Mina Osorio, Environmental Management Bureau, DNR. Of course, the Mayor of Arayan, Pampanga, Congbon, Alejandrino, Mayor Emmanuel Alejandrino. Mayor of Magalang, Pampanga, Mayor Romulo Quezon. A Menro from Guagua, Pampanga, Arlito Nigdao. Senro Regina Rodriguez from San Fernando City, Pampanga, ma'am. Of course, our brothers and sisters from the IT community, ang ating mga vloggers na mga kapatid, ang pamilya ng DENR, from EMB, SCIS, HR, GST, and KISS. Palakpakan po natin sa sarili natin. And of course, ang ating mga kapatid na nagmula pa sa region.
We are very thankful, very thankful po no, kasi nare-recognize na
Salamat po sa inyong
ng
pagdalo.
Catholic national
At
agencies
higit
sa
sa
mga
lahat,
clubbers po. No?
ang champion ng ating environmental protection, ating Senator Cynthia Villar. Ma'am, magandang hapon po. The long wait is over. Tagal ho natin hinintay ito. Taon ang binilang nito. After going through the tedious process of procurement and other factors, we are now gathered here for the ceremonial turnover of solid waste management equipment and the signing of the corresponding memorandum of agreement between the DENR and its recipients. At this point, I would like to take this opportunity to personally thank Senator Cynthia Villar for giving her full support to facilitate the implementation of Republic Act 9003 or the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. One manifestation is her presence here today, virtually. Let's give a round of applause to our very, very active Senator. Palakpak po natin. RA 9003 vested in our local government units, specifically at the barangay level, the responsibility of segregating and collecting biodegradable, compostable, and reusable waste. The law also requires that materials recovery facilities be designed to receive, sort, and process compostable and recyclable materials. Compliance with this law, however, has been slow, particularly where LGUs lack the means for full and prompt compliance. This is where the DENR steps in, which is also in line with its mandate to provide technical and other capability building assistance to LGUs. Today, the DENR will be turning over bio-waste spreaders and composters to LGUs of the province of Pampanga. They are the city of San Fernando and the municipalities of Arayat, Candaba, Guagua, and Magala. Thank you. This equipment will enable LGUs to significantly reduce the volume of solid waste for disposal by diverting biodegradable waste from the solid waste stream. Typically, biodegradable waste account for around 52% of municipal solid waste. Through this equipment, we can reduce the amount of solid waste that will need to be taken to sanitary landfills. But that is not the end of the story. We will not only reduce the volume of residual solid waste, but will also transform the diverted waste as compost into assets. Compost is an organic
Nagsasalita
fertilizer
po ngayon ni si Undersecretary
and horticulture. Together, let us keep our environment sustainably clean. Kung mapapansin niyo po, malinaw po na ang kapunan ng residual ay ang sanitary landfill. Ang recyclables naman po sa mga recycling facilities. But sad to say, when it comes to biodegradable o mga leftover foods, ang madalas pong ginagamit natin na paraan para masolusyonan ito ay dalhin sa mga piggeries. No po? But sad to say, we have this African swine flu now, wherein naiwan po itong problema natin sa mga leftover foods. With this initiative of our good Senator Cynthia Villar, and of course, the initiative also of our Secretary Roy A. Simatu, meron na pong patutunguhan ang ating mga tirang pagkain at hindi na po ito mahalo sa mga recyclables na isang dahilan kung kaya't nakokontaminate ang recyclables natin at nahihirapan tayong ma-recover ito. So asahan po natin na marami na po tayong ma-recover na recyclables and at the same time, asahan natin na ito pong mga leftover foods at itong mga biodegradables ay magkakaroon na po ng saysay sa ating buhay dahil ito po ay magagamit na ng ating mga magsasaka sa kanilang pagtatanim na hindi naman po kailangan gumastos na malaki. Most of the time, transportation na lang po ang gagastusin nila rito. Kung kaya, again, nagpapasalamat po ko sa buong kagawaran ng DENR and of course, sa taong nag-isip nito. At yan ay walang iba kundi ating minamahal na Senadora Villar. Palakpakan po natin siya. Again, makikita niyo po, ito po ang mga makina natin na handa pong i-deliver kung kaya nakakarga na po sa truck na yan.
Handang i-deliver na po.
Again, lagi po nating tatandaan, ikaw, ako, tayo ang kalikasan kung kaya't pangalagaan po natin ito. Maraming salamat po.
So dyan po ilalagay yung mga
Thank you
solid
very much,
waste, mga solid
Undersecretary
waste. So hindi na
Antipoda.
kailangang ilahok, no?
And
So,
now we shall
malaking
have
tulong
the
yan,
memorandum of
para
agreement
magkaroon ng
signing. So I'd like to
fertilizer.
request again Undersecretary Antipoda, EMB Assistant Director Engineer Bisminda E. Osorio, all our local chief executives and their representatives for the MOA signing. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the mandate of the DNR EMB relative to this event, we have the provision of equipment is one of the strategies of the DNR consistent with our mandate under Section 8 of Republic Act number 9003 to provide assistance to LGUs in the development and implementation of its 10-year SWM plans. Equipment to be provided for LGU, we have one unit of brand new shredder with capacity of 2 tons per day and one unit brand new composter with capacity of 1 ton per day. The provision of equipment aims to increase compliance in the implementation of ecological solid waste management, particularly in the operation of our materials recovery facility. Specifically, it aims to the improvement or improve of the SWM in the country through the implementation of Republic Act 9003 with the provision of biodegradable waste shredder and composter to the qualified LGUs, the enhancement of the target LGU's capacity to address issues concerning solid waste management in their areas of jurisdiction, and to contribute towards social and economic development in the country. The role of the DNR and the LGUs in the Memorandum of Agreement. First, let's have the role of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. First, provide biodegradable shredder and a composter set to the qualified LGU in order to improve its compliance to the Republic Act 9003, specifically on the increase of waste diversion of solid wastes. Second, ensure that the implementation of the project shall be in accordance to this agreement. Third, ensure validation of LGU submitted reports. Fourth, establish a monitoring and evaluation scheme associated with the implementation of the project. Fifth, monitor the implementation of the project, particularly during the preparatory activities, installation, and commissioning of the equipment. Sixth, revoke the MOA and withdraw the shredder machines and composters from the city or municipality that fails to utilize them without valid reasons as to why it remained non-operational after 3 months upon receipt of said equipment. And now the role of the local government units. First, provide a suitable site for the installation of the said equipment with a minimum area of 100 square meters with shed measuring of at least 10 meters in length by 10 meters in width by 10 meters in height and a single-phase power supply. Second, assign at least 3 permanent personnel to manage the operation of the equipment. Third, ensure that the equipment are continuously utilized on a daily basis. Fourth, prepare proper documentation and submit monthly reports to the EMB on the results of the output of biodegradable waste and compost generated. Fifth, ensure the sustainability of the project implementation through proper utilization and maintenance of the equipment. Fifth, guarantee proper and effective operation of the equipment. And sixth, in case of equipment malfunction or breakdown, provide or allocate enough funds to cover the expenses for repairs and other incidental costs to restore the immediate operation of the equipment. For curriculum year 2020, the DNR through the EMB has allotted funding for the provision of plastic molders, shredders, and composters to 766 local government units in the country, consisting of 69 provinces and 697 cities and municipalities. And also in curriculum year 2021, a total of 320 LGUs will be provided with bio-waste shredders and composters similar to this equipment.
Okay lang yan. Lalaki yan.
Again, magandang hapon sa lahat ng magandang hapon. Welcome to our live. So, dito tayo ngayon sa mismong central office ng DENR at kasama natin na imbitahan ko tayo dito mismo Undersecretary Benny and Gordon para sa itong ceremonial turnover and signing of memorandum of agreement on the provision of solid waste management equipment. Ayan, so yan, makikita nyo na yan, kulay puti na yan. So, ngayon, nandito pala sa Tarakay. Personal tayo, ayan, marami po kami, 15, 13. Actually, 15 vlogger po talaga, no? And pating iba hindi nakapunta, sina Engineer Berto. So, kasama natin dito, sina General Lander, sina Mamel D, sina Kuya Ron, si Hoppers Vlog, kasama natin, Jasmine PH, no? Ayan. Dapat Tagalogin.
Okay, so we're done with the MOA signing. Thank you very much.
So, done na po,
And
no?
now we
For
shall proceed to one of the highlights of our events, or our event this afternoon, the unveiling of our solid waste management equipment. And to unveil our equipment, I'd like to call on Undersecretary Benny and report us, sir.
Bubuksan na po ito, no? Itong nakakulay puti na to, yung equipment na to, no? Ayan. Ready na po i-deliver itong equipment na to, no? Sa iba't ibang part ng so more than basta maraming LGU, no? 78 LGUs to, more than marami pa ayan. Dito na nga po, no? Yung equipment na yan, ang nakaisip po nito siya Senator na si Kuya, ayan. So tayo sa may medyo unahan. Sir, bubuksan na to.
So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the brand new solid waste management equipment.
Ihilang lang mo natin. Okay. Tingin lang tayo sa likod. One. Konting side lang mo. Okay. Sa kamay lang mo. One, two, three. Ito yung pinaka-nagiging fertilizer niya. So, alam naman natin na yung mga biodegradable pwede may balik uli sa lupa, no? But ito, ang ginaganda rito, kaysa sa lupa mo ilagay, lalagay natin ito sa bukirin para tumaba ang ating mga pananim. Okay? So, umpisa pa lang ito. Sunod-sunod ito. Bali ilang piraso siya? Ano? Bali ilang piraso lahat siya? Yung composting machine? 172. So, umpisa pa lang yan. Tuloy-tuloy yan hanggang hindi natin nabibigyan ng bawat munisipyo. Hindi po tayo titigil. Tuloy-tuloy po yan. Yan po ay, yan po ang pagtugon ng ating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte rin dito sa pangangailangan ng taong bayan pagkarap sa solid waste management. So again, thank you very much po sa inyo lahat. Tungkol na? Okay.
So, simula pa lang yan, simula pa lang. So, 172.
Yan po yung results pagka ginamit pa lang.
This is the latest version of poster. Finest now.
Yan po ba yung mga leftovers po na?
Yes. Ito yung mga galing baboy ko. Kasi hindi na ganito na siya. Ibabalik ko sa lupa as organic fertilizer. Just imagine having 7 actually. We can have at least 500 tons of it.
Mas mapapakinabangan po yun.
The most advanced marami ng version ng talagang research na. Kasi ang issue sa composting gaano kung pag-ibigay pwede mo nang gamitin. Dati yung thing, 14 days of wait for it. So, good siya kasi may thermal source. Marami ng
Tama po, no? Miss Liane Miyagi. Yan, hawak-hawak na nga po ni Sir yung kaning baboy. Dati kaning baboy.
Okay, there you have it, the unveiling of our SWM equipment. And now may we request our officials and guests to please be back on stage for our acceptance speeches.
Ayan po, no? Ang galing, no? From kaning baboy to organic fertilizer. Ayan, ang galing. So, what great inventions, no? Ginawa. Ito, pakita ko sa inyo. Ito yung makina. Lapitan lang natin, no? Ayan. Ito yung pinakamakina niya. Ayan. So, 172, but sabi nga ni Undersecretary Ben, further more coming, no? More, simula pa lang to at mas marami pa. Hanggat hindi daw nabibigyan lahat ng munisipyo, ng LGU, hindi sila titigil, no? Ayan. So, talagang lahat po mabibigyan ito. Kung nanonood kayo ngayon, kung anong probinsya nyo, Metro Manila, meron magkakaroon din ito, no? Sige lang, okay lang. Okay lang. Galing.
Alright, so we shall now hear the acceptance speeches of our local chief executive, starting off with our Honorable Emmanuel M. Alejandro.
We are lucky na na-cover natin ito, no? Imbitahan tayo in this ceremonial turnover and signing of memorandum of agreement on the vision of solid waste management equipment. grinder, mixer, parang ganun. Oh. Kita niyo yung hawak kanina ni, ni Sir. Dating kaning baboy daw yun, but sa tulong ito, naging ano siya, naging lupa, bumalik sa pagiging organic fertilizer. Magandang hapon po, galing kay Shirley, Balikos. Ayan, magandang hapon. And ang kulit nyo, so yan is yung mga pasaway, galing kay Nono, Banzel. Ayan, shoutout sa inyo lahat, and welcome po to our YouTube channel, Kuya Bok Vlogs. So live na live tayo ngayon dito sa DENR Central Office, no? Ayan. Kasama nga natin si Secretary, Undersecretary Benny Antiforda.
Basura, may paglalagyan ka ngayon. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor Alejandrino. Now we move on to Honorable Rene Maglantes.
Yung mga kasama
Honorable
natin ngayon,
Mayor,
yung mga nasa unahan
Municipality
po,
of Candaba,
halos lahat
Province
po
of
sila ay mga municipal mayors ng Pampanga, no?
Magalang.
Provinces
Okay.
ng or municipality
Honorable
LGU ng
Romulo
Pampanga.
Pexon. Sir?
Kita nyo.
Unang-una po, gusto kong magpasalamat sa ating Presidente,
Kanina may kaya niyan.
President Rodrigo Roa Duterte,
mabait
sa ating mga
talagang
mahal, minamahal
organic na
at
organic siya,
masipag na
mataba.
Senadora Cynthia Villar, at saka sa ating pong Secretary Roy Sibatu, sa ating pong Undersecretary Benny Anticorda, sa ngalan po ng ating mga kababayan sa Magalang, maraming salamat po sa mga equipment nito.
Yes po,
Magandang hapon
napakaganda
po.
ng Ma'am Lenny Miyagi. Ang galing ng boss ng MC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Pexon. And we have Honorable Dan Torres, represented by our Menro Carlito Nemdao. Sir?
Muli magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Yung pong nakita kong equipment is a much advanced compare po dun sa mga nauna namin ginamit. And sana po hindi na tumagal ng katulad ng sinabi ni Yusek kanina na 3 taon, mahigit ata, bago po dumating. Pero napakaganda po nito. Rest assured, sir. Magtuloy-tuloy po yung ASF. Meron na po tayong sagot sa mga gulay natin, sa mga palengke natin. Ito po yung sasagot doon. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, sir. And of course, Honorable Edwin Santiago, represented by Cedro Rodriguez. Ma'am?
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the City Government of San Fernando, Pampanga, headed by Mayor Edwin Santiago, maraming salamat po, President Rodrigo Duterte, Secretary Sinatu,
Mga po, kababanggit nga lang po, no? Palengke daw. Talaga mas maganda po pag sa palengke.
Conservation Office, to Dr. Adesito Villar and R.D. Wilson Cajeto. Maraming salamat. It will greatly complement our proposing efforts in the City of San Fernando. Malapit na po bumigay yung aming two-tonner na equipment. This is a welcome addition to our equipment there in San Fernando. And we look forward to receiving soon the plastic recycling equipment na sinasabi po. Maraming salamat.
All right, so there you have it, our acceptance speeches of our LGUs. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, that ends our program this afternoon. Maraming salamat. Thank you very much, Honorable Senator Cynthia A. Villar. And of course, to our officials, our LGUs and our guests.
Tapos na po, no?
Maraming salamat. Palakpakan po ninyo ang inyong mga sarili. And
Iniikot po
we
yan, no?
shall
Iniikot
have
yan.
our final activity. We
Tapos,
shall have our photo opportunity. So, we'd like to request our officials to please
nagaguide.
stand
Ito na nga, sabi ko
for
sa
our
inyo. Ito yung
picture
magiging
taking.
resulta niya, no? From kaning baboy to a organic fertilizer. Ayan. So, parang siya yung lupa ng mga pag nasa sandbox na black, no? Ayan, talagang matabang lupa. Yan. So yun, again, maraming salamat po ng maraming mga kabayan. Dito na nga nagtatapos itong ceremonial turnover, no? Dito. Mahal ko, kuha ka nga na picture sa gitna mismo.
Alright, so that officially ends our program. Thank you very much, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your holidays.
Parang ganito ang post mo.
Kaya ako ang nag-TV.
Kaya ako may pindot.
Maganda no? Isa pa. Pindutin mo pa.
O kaya, tapos itong machine dito na. Baka may wide angle ba?
Wala.
Dito ka sa malay. Dito ka sa malay na yan. Ayan. Okay, salamat po na marami. See you and God bless. Ayan. Paano nila i-dispose ang water galing sa waste food? Ayan. So, may paraan po dyan sila dyan gagawin. May mga nasan yan, Kuya Bog. Dito po kami sa tawag doon sa central office no, ng DENR dito sa QC. Ayan. So, naimbitahan po tayo mismo at nare-recognize na po talaga ang nag-vlog no, especially sa Manila Bay. Ayan, so yun, naimbitahan tayo ni Undersecretary Benny Anticorda, especially ni Sir Hiro Masuda ng Director ng DNR. Ayan, so yun, salamat po na marami at ayan, patapos na nga po, 15 vloggers kami nandito, 13 pala. Ayan, mahal, ayun. Ayan. Para makita natin yung pinakandoob, ayan po yung pinakandoob niya. Sobrang kapal niya po, sobrang matibay. Miss July, baka maging organic fertilizer. Sumuot kayo. Connect sa dito kasi kailangan ng 70 degrees na 40 to 70 degrees ng temperature para mabilis makumpose. Kasi pag less than 40, tamad ang mga bakterya kumain. Alright, so 70 degrees no, para ma-decompose yung basura. Ayan. Alright, ang galing. So, salamat po no. Ayun, tapos na po yung ating pinakang event ngayon. Thank you and God bless. Manila, God first. Salamat po, Mandalia. Magandang hapon sa iyo. Ayan, air dryer. Ayan, parang gano'n na rin yan, no? Ayan, yung mga ayan, medyo matubig. Ayan. So, ayan po at gagawin ang pinakang organic na fertilizer. Ayan po, maraming salamat. See you and God bless na mabuhay. Thank you. Ayan. Wait lang. Yung warranty dito is 3 years. 3 years? Usually nasisira lang naman dyan yung motor. Okay. Pero kasi virtually indestructible din kasi wala naman nilalabas. Ikot lang siya na. Ito na yung motor. Balik ka ng motor, every 3 years. Okay. Minsan nare-repair ka pag kaya ka na. So paano sir kapag halimbawa nasira siya, so may maintenance naman po na pwede silang tawagan? No?
Yes po. Actually, dun sa kontrata, meron po sila certification na availability po ng parts nito is 10 years after the warranty expires.
Okay po.
13 years.
Okay.
Gamit po ng mga LTO.
And available naman po lahat dito?
So, po yun na 13 years.
13 years.
Tanong ko lang sir, last na lang po, ano ba yung local made or galing pang abroad yan?
Yun pong mga motor, ano po yan? Abroad po na.
Abroad.
Okay. Pero si supplier na po na bili nila.
Okay.
Ngayon po, ito po lahat, locally fabricated. From the island of Cebu.
Dito lahat yun, ano?
Assemble nandito, ano? Assemble. Thank you sir, salamat po.
Salamat po, marami. Thank you sir, thank you.
Thank you sa inyo ha.
Thank you po, salamat na marami. Ayan. Alright, thank you.